guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is hopefully going to be a really helpful one. I'm very excited to be filming this today. It is also the first official video that I'm filming in spring. The official start of spring was 2 days ago, so I'm very excited, and the weather here has been beautiful. It's been nice and sunny and it's warming up, and it always gets me so excited. I just love like fresh spring energy. I feel that nature is buzzing and so full of life, and when I go out on my walks I see like little flowers popping up and greenery starting to come. I've talked about this before, but I really feel like it's so powerful to tap into the energy of nature and of the season. At the end of the day, we are nature, our bodies, our systems, and now when it's spring and nature is so full of life and full of energy and things are starting to waken up again. I hear birds chirping like all day long. It's so beautiful. I think it's really powerful to kind of like channel that and use it in our own lives and really be in flow and in tune with all of that. I think it can really help us to achieve a lot of the things that we want to do. So in today's video, I want to share kind of how I get it all done. What are my systems? How do I organize myself? What is my mindset like? So between work, managing my YouTube, our business that we run, our home, like doing everything around the house from laundry to cooking to groceries, keeping things clean and organized, to, you know, social life and my health and self-care and fitness and all the things. Of course, there are days when I'm like, I just cannot do everything, or I really wish I could be doing more, but I feel like where I'm at now, I can say, looking back at the last, 10 years or even like 20 years since I was a teenager and all the things that I dreamed about, I feel like I've gotten to a really good place in my life, and it's taken me time to get here and to set up these mindset shifts and routines and systems. I'm pretty proud of what I've accomplished and myself, and I feel like there's still so many more things that I want to do, but I feel like I'm at a good place and that hopefully I'm going in the right direction. So I want to share my tips with you and keep this kind of more vlog style, kind of take you through my day and share like thoughts and tips and things as I'm doing them, and show you like situational examples of all of these things kind of more in practice. Also, this is what's working for me right now. I am pregnant. I am 5 months pregnant, so we're expecting our first little baby to join us in a few months, and I'm so interested to also see how things are going to shift and change and how I'm going to adapt. I feel like when you have good routines and good structures, like good pillars, I feel like that's going to be a good foundation for me, and then of course I will have to adjust and balance things out and just like find my new ways. But I also wanted to make this video as like a point in time reference for me, what's working right now, and then maybe we can do a follow-up to this video when our baby is a few months old and I can kind of share like my updated things that are hopefully going to be working for me. The first thing I think, which is really important to start with, just above and beyond everything else, is to know what you want, where you're going, where you're headed, and what is your ultimate goal at the end of the day. I think this is really important because for me personally, my goal and the things that I want in life, I'm so hyper focused and hyper aware of what that is, that allows me to stay on a really good path. And it reminds ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing, even if we feel like something is challenging, we're not super motivated one day. It really keeps us on the good path. So for example, one of my things that I think might differ from like a normal kind of like business person or someone who is also entrepreneurial and very driven in life, when it comes to working and making money and setting up your life, I of course always want to be financially free and have enough so that I can support myself, support my family, savings, and hopefully invest in a property in the future. But above and beyond that, like my ability to take care of myself and have all those things that I just mentioned, I'm not interested in like having my own jet or having like multiple houses all over the world or having like every single new designer handbag, you know, really like luxurious and lavish things. Like I like a little bit of that, and I have like my few things that I really like, but I'm not trying to work to own everything, you know? And if that is your goal and you're just genuinely excited about those things, then that's amazing. There's nothing wrong with that if you have good intentions. But for me, I know that with a certain level of work, I can achieve what I want. But for me, something that I equally value and that I equally want is a relaxed and peaceful and fulfilling life with downtime, with time to enjoy it with my family and just taking care of myself and being able to have the freedom of doing things that are outside of like work related things. For me, that's something that I really value, and that is part of my like goalpost when it comes to knowing what I want, what is my ultimate goal in life. I want to have that balance. For me, that also helps me to avoid burnout and feeling too exhausted or too overwhelmed. Of course, there are days when I feel like I have a lot of things going on, but generally speaking, I rarely go through like very long phases where I feel burnt out, because I always want to bring it back to balance for myself. I think of this as a long-term thing. I want to be in it for the long run. Like when it comes to my job, this is what I love. This is what genuinely brings me so much happiness and fulfillment and just joy. But if I feel like I need a little break or I just cannot take a certain project on, I will allow myself that, because again, I'm thinking of the long term. So I don't feel guilty. I don't beat myself up. For me, I really value hard work and passion, but I equally value enjoyment of life and just soaking up the little things and being present and enjoying life at the end of the day and savoring those little moments. Because I think for a lot of us, we can focus so much on working and grinding and the hustle and building and building and building, and then we look back and we say like, where did my life go? Like what happened to me? What happened to my health? Like my relationships? I don't feel good in my body, like my home is a mess, you know, things like that. And for me, I've just been always very like naturally conscious of balancing everything so that I can enjoy all the things in life. I can enjoy working hard, I can enjoy my job, but I can also enjoy the little things. And again, I think that really helps with burnout, with having to take too much time off, because at the end of the day, that's also not like productive to your long-term goal. So really take some time to think about that, what it means for you. Where do you want to go? Where are you headed? What is your ultimate goal? If you could just design your perfect life without having any fear or feeling like you couldn't accomplish something, what does that look like? Really visualize that for yourself. I think that is really the foundation and the start of getting it all done, because you know what it is that you want to get done, what it is that you ultimately want, so that you're not spending lots of time doing things that are distracting, things that are not actually serving you or bringing you closer to any of those things, so that you stay really focused and you feel really good about the things that you're actually doing during the day. Okay, my next tip is to be dressed in a way that makes you feel confident and energized and ready for the day. I feel like what you wear, it really does affect your mood, your energy, how you perform, and just generally putting a little bit of effort into what you're wearing, or you know, maybe doing a little bit of makeup or how you have your hair. It can really elevate your mood and just make you feel so good. And when you feel good, you do good. I know for myself, I definitely have my days when I just want to wear sweatpants and put my hair up in a bun, have no makeup on, and I think those days are great too. But just generally speaking, especially for me, I work from home, and I just notice like if I put on a cute outfit, I just feel a lot better. I feel more energized and motivated. And this is of course still very, very comfortable. I am pregnant, so I don't like to wear anything that is too tight or constricting around my belly, because it's just not very comfortable. And just generally, pregnant or not pregnant, I love to be comfortable but still cute. So I love dresses like this at the moment. This is one of my favorites from ASOS. It's just nice and like flowy, and I've just paired it with this little cropped sweater. This is from H&M. I really love it. Even just like wearing little gold necklaces like this, earrings, a few bracelets. I don't know, I feel like it just creates a good energy, a good atmosphere for you, for your body, feel good. And again, when you feel good, you do good. Okay, my next tip for getting it all done is to plan your day and to prioritize your tasks. This is something that is so crucial for me and that has just become part of my day. We can have all of the good intentions in the world, but at the end of the day, life can be so distracting and there can be so many things that are pulling us in either which direction. And on top of that, if we actually write things down and get things out of our head and onto paper or onto our computer, it just frees up so much more space in our mind to stay clear and feel more organized, and we're giving our brain and our mind a plan, and we're actually so much more likely to achieve those tasks when we see them laid out in front of us. And literally sometimes when I plan my day, I'm looking at my computer, by the way, which is where I like to do all of my organizing, my planning. When I have really busy mornings or really busy days and I have a lot of things to get done, I will literally plan like time by time, like in 15 or 30-minute increments, depending on like how much time I have. I will write that down. That can include things like if I have to get up at a certain time, to what time I need to have my shower and, you know, get my hair done or my makeup on to be able to shoot this and this content, and then what time I have to have breakfast in order to leave for the city to be at my appointment by a certain time, you know, like calculating traffic times. And then if I have a call at a certain hour, but I want to make sure that I'm fitting in lunch, I plan that in. I also plan in if I want to have a walk in the afternoon and I'm super busy. Like, basically my point is that it's not like that every day, but on the days that are very busy, I not only plan my day with like my to-do list, but I also put in a time of when I can actually get everything done so that I don't feel overwhelmed, so that I'm not putting too many things on my plate as well, but that I'm really making sure like, okay, this is doable, and if I stay focused, I can achieve all of those things, but I gotta keep to this kind of like time frame to get it all done, you know, so that I make sure that I have enough time and I don't have to stress or run or rush, and I can still enjoy the things that I'm doing as I'm doing them, even if I have a lot of things to do. And then as well, prioritizing tasks. Like, what is the most important? What are your non-negotiables that you have to get done that day? Make them bold or put them in a certain color, and just really make it feel like you're on top of your day, that you're planning your day. And think about different areas of your life as well, so that again, if you're like me and you like to have that balance, so that it's not just work focused. Like again, sometimes I will put in like to do my afternoon walk here, because in the afternoon, you know, things can get a little bit crazy and busy, and that's something that I love to do. I love to be in nature. I love to have the sun on my skin. I love to hear the birds and just really be in that environment. It makes me feel so good. I also sometimes note down things that I have to do around the apartment, our home, groceries, meal prep, you know, like cooking dinner and researching recipes and all of that. So my favorite way to do this is digitally. I've just found that over the years, like I do love to use my physical journal. This is something that I use more in the mornings. If I have like a lot of ideas, I'm feeling really inspired, I will usually journal those things, and I'll take some of those thoughts and ideas and implement them digitally, and then kind of organize them a little bit better so that I can fit it in my calendar and plan some of those ideas out further. So the system that I like to use for digital note-taking is called Notion. I love how flexible it is and how it's so customizable and just visually beautiful. And I love to use it for my to-do list, for planning social media content, for trips, even for our brand, and just organizing all the little things that come with that. I have a lot of lists in there as well, also for my home, for organizing, for staying on top of like things that I need, like grocery list. And it's great because you can also link it to your phone. So everything that you have on your computer, you can also get it on your phone, and it's all connected. So if you're out and about, it's really easy to reference. And Notion is not just great for individual use, but you can also use it as a team, so across in your brand or company. And if you're a student, I believe this is one of the most popular and most user-friendly digital note-taking app. There are so many great functions for organizing notes within Notes. You can create folders, and again, it's so customizable. You can really tailor it to fit your needs and what you have going on in your life. One of the things that I love is, for example, just how you look at a document. You can, for example, give each note its own header image, which again just makes it like really visually pleasing. And there's lots of like little different functions that you can do, and plus they also have some really great templates that are already built into Notion for free that you can use. So that makes it really easy if you're, again, like wanting to plan a certain like budgeting list, a trip, even a calendar or a to-do list. Like if you like to check things off, there are just so many fun things that you can do in the app, and it's very user-friendly. So I will have a link down below where you can try Notion for free. You can download it, play around with it a little bit, and see if you like it. I do also use the free calendar app that comes with all MacBooks, and I use this to actually schedule in all of my videos when they are going live, deadlines, appointments, trips, anything that has like a time related point. And I love with the calendar app as well that you can zoom out and just see it like as a month overview, and that's usually what I have it in. So I really like just to have this big overview of the whole month, everything that's going on. I know what I have to prepare for, and I like just having this quick recap of everything that is going on. And then, as I said, like when it comes to planning daily things, you know, if I have like a schedule of things I have to do, I will do that in a separate worksheet. We cannot do it all and perform at our best if we're not properly fueling ourselves. We cannot run a car on an empty gas tank. So coffee is okay in moderation, but it's not a real energy source. And to properly fuel our bodies, we need to eat real, nourishing, whole food and have a balanced diet overall, which includes having our snacks so we have enough energy to do it all. And also, stable blood sugar makes you feel good, which will definitely help you to accomplish more. So something I've been doing a lot lately is meal prepping some lunch the night before as I'm making dinner. For instance, last night I made this shredded chicken salad, which is so great on its own, but also really nice over avocado toast or in a wrap over some greens. So just keeping things really simple. Don't make it too hard for yourself. And you know, that goes with workouts and recipes and work goals. Make it doable with just like a little extra kick. So just taking time to schedule in some meal prep can go such a long way. So you don't have to think about cooking every single day, and you can kind of do it in batches. Good morning, guys. So something else that really helps me is to set up routines and systems for success. So for example, here it's currently around 7:15 and I'm about to do my morning workout, and this is where I get dressed. And I also like to use this as a workout space. Sometimes I'll do it in the living room, but mostly it's here. So I just want to show you guys, I've already got my weights just here. I placed my yoga mat here in this little nook, so everything is very easy to reach for. And also here in my wardrobe, I've got this area here where I have my yoga towels, my ball bangles, and this resistance band that I use for Pilates. And everything is just very easy to grab. It's not complicated. I know where everything is. It's super simple for me to just come in here, roll out my yoga mat, put a yoga towel on top, and decide whether I want to do something Pilates. I'll sometimes use the props, and if I want to do a weight or strength training class, I just pull out my weights. And this whole routine for me has really become so automatic and habitual. It's something that I crave every single day, and it's a routine, it's a system. So when I wake up, I do my warm water with lemon, go to the bathroom, I take my probiotic, I come in here, put my workout clothes on, roll out my mat, and it's just a question of what I feel like doing. Sometimes it's literally a 5-minute arm series. Other times it can be a 20-minute strength class. Sometimes it's just a little bit of stretching. It really just depends depends what I'm in the mood to do, but I always do something, and that is my routine or my system that I can lean on, and it keeps me consistent. It keeps me feeling really good in my body. It's such a mental health thing that I do as well, and you can apply this to anything, whether that is your work, you know, making sure that you're staying on top of your supplements, like keeping things in areas that are easily accessible, keeping your tools and what you need in areas that you can easily reach to. It shouldn't be too complicated and too much of a fuss. Another way to think about it is like stacking one habit after another. So if you generally wake up and the first thing that you love to do is have your coffee, put a big glass of water next to your coffee machine before you go to bed. So when you wake up, you're reminded to have some water with your coffee, or put your supplements next to your coffee machine. If you're trying to be more productive with work, like just line things up after something that you know you automatically do, and just have these little like points that remind you to do the next thing. For me, that's been really helpful, and I think that's a really great way to instill a new habit and keep it long term. And again, just try to reduce and take out as many like complications and annoying things as possible. So just making everything really streamlined and just working for you. So really setting up your space, your routines, your systems, so that they can help you and you can really lean on those. Another example is I have this walking pad. It's kind of like a treadmill, and I keep it right next to our kitchen. You know, I don't fold it up and put it like tucked away somewhere. I keep it out so that I actually use it, and I keep my shoes right next to it as well. And again, I think a big part as well is about not thinking about perfection, but thinking about consistency. So doing these things consistently, but not having to be perfect. I think for me, that is something that has really helped as well. So again, like sometimes I come out here and I just want to do a little bit of stretching, or like a quick 5-minute arms or 5-minute legs or something like that. But it's consistency for me, and for others that might look different. So for you, you might enjoy doing like 2 times per week, like a more intensive strength or HIIT class or something like that, and that's just what works for you. So staying consistent with that, like finding what works for you. So I am now going to do a little Pilates. That's what I'm craving this morning. I'm still really loving the Melissa Wood health app. I've been doing her workouts for almost 2.5 years now, which is crazy. And then when it comes to strength classes, I really like the Nourish Move Love channel on YouTube. They have some incredible workouts that are strength focused with dumbbells. I'll make sure to have both of those accounts below in the description box if you want to check them out. The next thing I want to talk about is one of my favorites, and something that I think is so important to avoid feeling burnt out, and that is to take so much pleasure in your little daily rituals that can actually bring you so much joy. So it's little things that we're doing during the day, but that are actually really special and really important for self-care. So for me, a few things that come to mind is my mornings. Like I love my morning routine. The specific things that I do within my routine, they do vary from kind of like time to time, like season to season. You know, it depends on things that I want to do, but there are certain pillars. Like for example, making my warm water with lemon in the morning. I love that so much, and it genuinely brings me so much joy. And then I sip that as I watch the sunrise. And this is not something where I have to, you know, go to a specific place, or I can only experience that on vacation, or I have to pay money to do that. You know, it's something that is part of my morning that I just genuinely love, and I try to savor it. For others, it might be making their morning coffee or their morning matcha, or for me as well, like making my smoothies and having that and just enjoying that. I love it. I really love my showers as well, and just little things that you can look forward to, like hugging your partner in the morning, or cuddling up with your pet, or when you go out for your walks, or whatever it is that you do during the day. Like little things like this, we can easily let them just kind of pass by us as normal things in the day, but actually for me, they're like little touch points, little points where I can de-stress, and where I can come back to myself, and where I can breathe and just really savor and enjoy life. Because I feel like if we are running through the day from one task that we have to do to the next, I feel like the whole day just runs by, and then our days turn into weeks, weeks turn to months, months turn into years, and we can literally go so long without actually savoring and looking back and being like, wow, this is my life. I'm so grateful, and this is why I'm working so hard, and these are the moments that I'm doing it for, and really taking that in, like soaking it in, letting it be in your heart, you know, just really finding so much joy and so much pleasure in those everyday moments. I feel like that can go really, really far. Another thing I think is really important when it comes to just getting stuff done is trying to keep your space really minimal, clean, decluttered, and keeping things more simple and less busy. I feel like it allows you more time to think, to be strategic, to actually focus on what it is that you want to do, rather than having to think about like constantly cleaning up, you know, like constantly having to dust every little like knickknack that you have at home. So things like the one-touch rule. So for example, if I've had a tea or anything to eat, instead of just putting it like in my basin and letting everything pile up, I just rinse it out and I put it directly into my dishwasher, and that way it just saves so much time and effort in having to clean up like a whole mound of dishes and things like that. Just thinking about it, like everything has a place, everything has a home, and just trying to like be good about returning it to that spot so things are not building up. I feel like that goes a very long way. Okay, finishing up the last few things that I want to share with you guys on this topic. Currently in our bedroom, I am winding down for the night, and I was thinking about a few of these things as I was having my shower, which was, by the way, amazing. Literally, showers are so much more than just getting like dirt or like things off of your skin. For me, it's such an emotional and like almost like a spiritual thing. Like I just feel so cleansed at the end of the day when I have my shower. I really visualize any built up stress and things from the day just wash away in the shower, and it's seriously so therapeutic. Yeah, I was thinking about how if you want to do it all and be productive and be successful and take care of yourself, take care of your life, take care of your health, it's not something that is easy to do, in the sense that I feel like the world in general is not set up for health. It's something that we have to actively choose and prioritize in our day. Like the things that are common, the things that are most talked about, that are most available, that are the most affordable, are usually things that are not so good for us. Or even when it comes to like TV shows and things like that, usually the most popular stuff that is shown on Netflix is like very dramatic. Most of the storylines are about like problems and issues and negativity and a lot of violence and just like general terror and fright. Like that is, I feel like, what most of the TV shows and things that people mostly talk about that are popular, like that's a huge theme of it. And I've talked about this before, but I feel like if we are constantly in that environment and consuming that, taking that into our bodies, into our eyes, into our brains and our minds, it can really affect us even beyond just when you're watching that kind of show. I feel like that can really go into our subconscious mind and alter how we see the world, how we trust people, how positive and optimistic we can be about life. Okay, watching the news and watching reality is one thing, but then, you know, paying money or paying our time to watch entertainment that is made up, essentially, like Hollywood stuff, you know, it's not something that's real. Like, I would rather spend my time watching something that is at least neutral, or even better would be something that is like a little bit more positive or educational or inspiring or uplifting, because I can actually use that in my life. And I found so many times in my life that I'm like the odd one out, or the one that is different in a way, that I choose a different way. But that's again because I know what my goal is. I know what it is that I want to feel, where I want to go, where I'm headed. Of course, having things in moderation is fine, whether that is entertainment or food or lifestyle. It's not going to have a huge effect on you unless you do something consistently. So I think a little bit is fine, but if we're looking at like the grand scheme of things, when again we're talking about getting a lot of things done, you have a lot of things on your plate, I ask myself, like, does watching this kind of show or hanging around with that kind of person or living my life in some kind of way that is seen as normal or as like the thing to do in society, if it doesn't bring me anything, and on top of that, if it doesn't make me feel good, then why should I do that? And again, you know, it's all about balance and moderation, but I'm talking now about like big picture things. And even when it comes to career and what you want to do and your vision and passions in life, like, it's so easy to get lured into a mediocre life and to think like, I have to do it this way because that's how my friends do it, or that's what my family expects, or this is how it's done. But you can always choose a different way, and you have to be okay with being different and not caring what people think, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's how you want to live it. And I always remind myself, like, literally in less than 100 years, we are all going to be dead. Like, none of us are going to be here anymore. So if you think about making a life decision, or even like when you're afraid to do something, you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, just remind yourself that life is actually quite short. Do the thing that you want to do. And also with that, like, taking your life into your own hands and not like falling into the trap of being mediocre or feeling like you need to do what everyone else is doing. So that means like educating yourself, reading good books, watching good videos, and just following good social media accounts, like really tailoring and curating the things that are going into your mind. Having good books around is a great example for this. One of my favorite books on building good habits is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I read it back in 2019 and it just had such a great impact on my life. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, just having these good influences in your life, trying to limit distractions and really stay focused on what it is that you want out of your life, not being afraid of being different, because then you really free up so much more time, so much more energy to actually focus on the things that you really want to get done. You have a better chance of doing it all, of getting it all done in your way. My next tip for getting it all done is to outsource and get help. There are only that many hours in the day, and even if we planned down to the T and we got in so many things in the day, like, there are still things that we just wouldn't be able to do, that we cannot do, that other people can do better than us, and that's okay. And I think that's just something that should be celebrated and honored. And if you need help, get help. For example, you guys know that I generally keep things quite clean and organized here around the apartment. Like, we don't have a lot of clutter, we don't have too many things and like a lot of mess, and it's easy for us to kind of keep the day-to-day things pretty clean. But with everything going on, there is no way that I would be able to do all of the deep cleaning every week, you know, from the floors to the windows to the ironing and all like the dusting and all of that. So we have a lovely lady who comes once a week to help me with the apartment, to help me clean. She's here for about 4 to 5 hours per week, depending on if she's ironing or not, and that helps me so much. Same thing can apply to childcare, and even if you don't have somebody who can help you with your child that is like an external person, just communicating to your partner what you need, or asking friends or family, just not feeling like you have to actually do it all. Like, when I say doing it all, it's for our capacity and for what we're able to do. But I think it's really important to ask for help when you need it and not feel ashamed, not feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I can't get this and that done. It's okay. We're human. We're doing the best that we can. And again, it's important to not get burnt out and to feel like so overwhelmed, and you know, then you have to take like such a long time off, and you know, you get behind, and that's just not productive to our ultimate goals anyway. So it's all about that balance, knowing what works for you. And then the last thing that I want to talk about, which I think is so important for when it comes to getting it all done, is to get good sleep and to have your rest days and your time off where you can properly recharge. Getting good sleep and having like a good wind down routine, an evening routine to set you up for good sleep, that's a great thing that you can focus on daily. And then I talked about this in my most recent vlog, but I love to take one afternoon, usually on a Saturday or on a Sunday, where I will close the blinds here in our bedroom. I'll make it nice and dark and cozy, and I will lay here in my bed during the day for a few hours, usually before I cook dinner, and I will watch a show, I'll watch something on YouTube, I'll read a book, and just take a few hours off where I literally do nothing and I don't feel bad about it. I need that time to fill up my cup and to recharge myself, and I think it's really important to give yourself that time off so that, again, during the week when you're switched on and you're ready to go, you have that energy, you have the focus, you have the desire, the motivation, and you're not feeling like you are constantly running on low energy and just like pushing the truck along. With that said, I am now gonna call it a night. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and found some good tips. Let me know down below in the comments which one resonated most with you, if there's anything here that is like a good refresher or something new that you'd like to try. I always love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. And of course, there are so many more things that I could talk about when it comes to this topic. It's something that I'm very passionate about, but I hope that you guys found this helpful, and maybe we can do a part 2, or also when the baby comes and after like I get into that new way of doing things and I find a new balance and new routines, maybe we can do like a mommy edition of this at one point. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye guys.